All right, welcome back. As promised, we're going to start writing some Mongo code. I have a list of commands here that we're going to go over. So there's quite a few, but it's really these bottom four that are the most important. But we need to start with some of these. So the first one is mongod, which we already ran in the last video, which starts our Mongo daemon, the Mongo process, which is going to be running in the background for the rest of this course. We just have to have this running in order to use Mongo. So again, we want this in a separate tab. And then we'll have another tab where we'll type Mongo. And this opens up the Mongo shell, which, as I mentioned in the last video, is just like the JavaScript console in the sense that we use it to debug, to test things out. Also, we use it when we're learning, like we are right now, but we won't be using it for real to interact with our database and remove things and update things. We'll be doing that in some sort of file. So the first command that we can type is help. And what help will do is just give us a list of some of the basic features of Mongo. And you'll see that it shows things like show DBs, which is the very next thing that I want to talk about. Show DBs will show database names. So if we try that right now, show DBs, we see that there's admin and local. And those are the two default databases that Mongo knows about. And the way that databases work is that we'll make a separate database for every app that we make. We don't have to, but we're going to make a database for Yelp Camp, and we'll make another database for the dog app or the friends app or whatever else that we work on. We'll have a separate database so that things are self-contained. And the way that we make another database is actually the same way that we use a database. It's this use command. And it looks like this, use, and then the name of the database. And if it exists, then it will automatically use it. And if it doesn't exist, it will make the database and then use it. So we'll make a new one here just called demo, use demo, which doesn't exist, but then it tells us switched to db demo. And then I can also run show dbs, and we don't see demo yet because it's empty. But as soon as we add something in, we'll see demo here as well. And the way that we add things in is by creating collections. So for this demo, we'll be using dogs. So we're going to have a collection of dogs, and each dog can have things like a name or an age or a breed. But remember that this is Mongo, it's NoSQL, it's non-relational, so it's flexible. So we can have a dog that only has a name, and some dogs will have all of these, and then another dog might just be totally empty, and instead it might just have is dog to be true. So we're totally flexible here, but we need to group things together into a collection, and that collection will be dogs. And the way that we create a new collection, just like with use, we don't have to declare the collection ahead of time and then add to it. We can just go ahead and insert immediately. So we're going to add a single dog into our database, and that looks like this, db.dogs.insert. And then we pass in the data that we want to insert. And before I do that, let's analyze this. So db is referring to the db that we're on, which is demo. Dogs is the collection that doesn't exist yet, but it will in just a moment. And then insert is the command that will insert data into the dogs collection in this database, which is demo. So we're going to insert in an object, and this object will start very simple with name equal to Rusty and breed equal to Mutt. Just like that. And we can hit enter. And I got a syntax error because I missed my quote. So I'll go back and add that closing quotation mark. And now we get this message that says right result inserted 1. And to prove that the dogs collection was created, I can run show collections. And that shows me I now have the dogs collection. And if I want to now view all dogs in my database, we need to use find. And find works like this, db.dogs.find. And then if we don't pass anything, it will just automatically return all the dogs, everything in that collection. And we get this one dog back. So it has breed, it has name, and then it has this crazy looking thing, underscore ID, which is an object ID, which is a bunch of numbers and letters, hexadecimal here. And this is automatically assigned by Mongo. They're all unique. So if we add another one in, which we'll do right now, we'll add another dog, and this time we'll add in, keep a breed as Mutt, but we'll add name in to be Lucy and hit enter. And then if we do db.dogs.find again, you'll see that we end up with 2 dogs now, and each one has a unique object ID. So they look very similar, and they are the same up until this very last digit where they change. And that unique ID is useful. Later on, we'll be using it to refer to specific dogs. Well, not dogs, but to specific items, specific campgrounds, or whatever the resource is that we're working with. So sometimes we only want to find a particular instance of a dog. So rather than finding all dogs or all of a particular resource, we want to find everything that has breed of mutt, or we want to find the dog with name equal to Rusty. And we can do that by using db.dogs.find, and rather than just hitting enter, we pass in an object. And let's say I want to find the dog where name is Rusty. I can do name Rusty, and when I hit enter, it will locate the dog or dogs that have name equal to Rusty. And you can see I get this single dog with name equal to Rusty. Now let's add one more in here who is not a mutt, and this one will be a poodle. And the poodle's name will be Lulu. And now if I do a db.dogs.find everything, I get 3 dogs. And if I do find where breed is mutt, just like that, I get 2 dogs because we have 2 mutts. We have Rusty and Lucy, but I didn't get Lulu because she's a poodle. Okay, so we covered inserting into collections and retrieving or finding what's also called reading. There's an acronym, CRUD, which stands for create, read, update, and destroy or delete. And we've done the C and the R, create and read. Now let's talk about how we can update particular dogs. Let's say that we figure out that Lulu is actually a Labradoodle instead of a regular poodle. What we can do is update the value of breed on Lulu by using MongoDB's update. So that looks like db.dogs.update. And update takes 2 different things. The first one is something to select by, and we want to select where name is Lulu, or we could have selected where breed is poodle, or where ID is this giant thing, but I'll do select where name is Lulu, and then we can go and update it so that we set breed to be Labradoodle. I hope that's how you spell it, and we can hit enter. And if we now look at all the dogs, or just Lulu, you'll see that we updated Lulu, except for one small issue, which is that we totally overrode Lulu's name. What we did was we found all dogs where name is Lulu, and then we updated her so that all she has is breed of Labradoodle. To prevent that from happening, if we only wanted to update the breed while preserving the original name, there is a slight alteration to our update that we can make. So this time, let's just abandon Lulu. Unfortunately, she's a lost cause. So let's suppose I wanted to change Rusty. I want to change his name to be Tater, but I also want to add in a new property, which we'll call isCute, which will be set to be true. So I need to run db.dogs.update, and then I first need to give the update something to select by. So update dogs where name is Rusty. And then the second thing is another object. And in that object, we provide how we want it to be updated. And we don't want it to overwrite everything. So instead, what we'll do is use $set, and then set that to be another object. And in that object, we're going to change name to be Tater, comma, and we'll add in is cool or cute. Both of those are true, but is cute to be true. Okay, so what we've done, updated the dogs where name is Rusty. There's only one right here. And then we use $set and provided an object to set. And what this will do is it will preserve breed as mutt. It won't completely eliminate it like it did with Lulu's name here. And if I hit enter, and now I look at all dogs, or just the last dog, db.dogs.find, you can see here's the dog previously known as Rusty, where we have name is Tater, breed is mutt, and is cute is true. So that was updating, which is the U in CRUD, create, read, update. Now the last thing to talk about is destroying, which in Mongo we use the remove command to accomplish. So we're going to begin by removing the dog previously known as Lulu. So we need to do a db.dogs.remove, and then we pass in the dogs that we want to be removed, and we want to remove where breed is Labradoodle, just like that. If I hit enter, once again, I forgot my quote. Now if I hit enter, and now we look at all dogs, we can see we're down to just 2 dogs. This dog is now gone. Likewise, if I tried to do the same thing, but instead of deleting where breed is Labradoodle, if I did where breed is Mutt, and I hit enter now, notice that it says right result, so the result of what we just did, removed 2. So let's check if that's true. db.dogs.find, and it's true, there are no dogs left. So remove will, by default, remove everything that matches whatever you provided. There is a way to specify how many dogs you want removed using .limit. It looks like this, and you can pass in if we only wanted to remove 1 or 2 rather than all of them. But by default, it will remove everything that matches. All right, so that's all we're going to do with Mongo for now. Let's just quickly wrap up. So mongod starts the daemon. We need it running in order to use Mongo at all. Mongo opens a shell, which is where we are right now, and we can quit there with Control-C, open it back up. Help, we won't use all that much, but I wanted to show it to you so you know it's there. Show DBs is important. It shows all the DBs that we have, and you can see our demo DB has now shown up. Then we have use, so we can use one of those DBs like demo, but we can also use the use command to create a new database and then use it. Then we have the 4 CRUD commands. So insert, we use to create something. Find, we use to find it or to retrieve it. Update is used to update something or edit it. And then remove is how we remove something. Okay, so that's it. In the next video, I'm going to show you how we can interact with MongoDB from inside of a JavaScript file.